All right, so now we're gonna get to the nitty gritty. We're gonna clone out this tent thing here. And spoiler alert, this is gonna be a little bit rough. This is a very, very challenging clone job here. We're gonna do our darndest and bring it to a spot where it's not overly noticeable, and we'll see how it goes. Let's take a second and get organized here. This is our sticker clone PNT. This stuff's mostly self-explanatory. Let's go license plate, merge. That looks good. And we'll make another paint node. Let's hit Shift Spacebar, paint. And this is going to be our tent clone. This is where the magic's going to happen. So let's give ourselves a little bit of room here. And again, here under apply mode, we're going to hit the second one for clone. And then up here, we're going to hit the single brush. Control, click and drag to change our sizing. And let's do some cloning here. This is a really challenging background. So what we're really trying to do here is match some of these lines that are going through here and make it not seem like it's repeated. So let's start with some of the more difficult lines here. We'll zoom in, hold down Alt, and we'll just kind of start to paint this up like this. And we'll probably mix this around. And the good news is we don't really know what's behind this, and so we can kind of make it up. But it's a little bit of a challenging job here. As long as we use this kind of soft brush, we can get away with quite a bit. The trick is using different parts that are the same kind of lighting to cover up this pole with a really soft brush. And now we have this cloned out. And it looks a little janky. I'm not going to pretend like it doesn't, all right? It does a little bit. But the question is it distracting when we zoom all the way out? I'd say the only part that's distracting is this kind of little line here. And so how can we soften that a little bit? Let's maybe take some of this and just kind of break this up a little bit with these little trees. Maybe we'll even take the opacity of our brush down a little bit and just have this fade a little more. So there we go. So is that realistic? Is it the best clone ever? Not really. It's kind of jank. But will it work? Probably so. And we want to zoom out and make sure that we don't have anything that's like obviously being repeated, anything that obviously looks really weird. That looks good. Okay, so that's at frame 43. Let's just remember that. This is at frame 43. And let's see if this looks okay as we go through this here. Nope, it looks super weird when when we have her elbow going out. But for the most part, it's probably fine. So I think what we'll do is just still frame this and just use it basically as a patch, right? Let's do some work in our nodes here. Let's bring this up and I'll disconnect it. And we're gonna merge this over our original footage here and connect it. So now we have this tent clone just being merged over the original footage. And let's go to a frame that does look pretty good. And we'll do a still frame right there at that frame. Let's use frame 48. And again, let's double click out of here. I'll hit Shift Spacebar and type in time. Let's do time speed. And this is going to be up here, speed 0, frame 48. And let's just drop this in right before our paint node like this. So we're doing a still frame and doing our clone. And throughout the shot, it's just going to be that cloned still frame. which is going to be super convenient because we can add a mask to our merge. Let's select our merge and click on this polygon mask. And now all we have to do is draw a nice little mask right here around our car. Basically just around this part here. Boom, like that. And we'll soften this out. Select our polygon and hit 1 on the keyboard so that we can see this matte. And we'll soften this out just a little bit, just a touch. And let's scrub through this and see if it worked. So she's not cut off at all here. Let's play this back, make sure it doesn't look janky. Again, it's one of those things, if you look for it, you can tell. It's kind of weird looking, kind of blurry looking. But in the context of the shot, nobody's going to notice. It's going to be fine. You can call me a hack all you want to. You are free to do a much better clone job. Let's just go ahead, go back to the edit page and let this cache for a second. And we let it cache, and we'll sing the cache song. Ooh, baby, I love you, cache. Not money cache, not cash money, like cache, like thing that you keep things in. In this case, rendered frames. All right, let's see if this worked. I'd say that works. Play it backwards, rack roll. Yep. Dude, it totally works. Ain't nobody cares about that. It's fine. That looks good. Look at us go. This one is what we refer to in the business as a green marker.